Hi, Alan. So this is JC De Guzman, and today I'm going to answer your question or your request for my most recent update or my latest technical analysis on BPI. So let me show that for you. Let me show that to you. So I'm using the charting tool of First Metro Securities. I'm for sure you'd like to know which chart I'm using right now, so that's it. So let's talk about BPI. On a long-term time horizon, let's say uh, if we're going to assess the trend of BPI since the first quarter, the first 1 or 2 months of 2008, well, generally speaking, I would say that BPI is still on a downward trend. But if we're going to um, assess its trend since the second week of November this year, I would say that BPI has managed to register a bullish trend on at least on a short-term time period, as evidenced by its positioning, above the 10-day moving average, which is the green line that you see on my chart right now. Now, this blue line represents the long-term time period, which is a 200-day moving average. How do I know if a stock is moving inside how do I know if the stock is moving bullishly on a short-term time period, and how do I also know if a stock is already moving within its long-term bullish period? You'll just have to take a look at the position of the price relative to the position of the moving average. If the price moves above the 10-day moving average, for me, I would consider that the stock is already moving in a bullish trend as far as short-term time period is concerned. Now, if the price is already moving above the 200-day moving average, I would consider that the stock is arguably moving inside the bullish trend on a long-term horizon. Now, in this case, BPI, it seems that BPI is encountering is encountering an insufficient upward push to continue moving above the 10-day moving average. As we can see here, since the last week of November, BPI registered or has start BPI has started to show us some sideways movement. And also, as of today's closing, I would say that BPI is at the tipping point of moving above or below the 10-day moving average. So there's a tug of war between uh, the position of the bulls and the bears as far as the position of BPI's price is concerned relative to the position of the 10-day moving average. Now, if we're looking at the MACD, if you are already familiar with my 10-day moving average and MACD combination, um, let me explain that briefly to you. How do what what indicators do I check for me to get some buy or sell signals? Okay, when if I want to get a buy signal, I would check the position of the price relative to the 10-day moving average. I would also check if MACD is already moving above the signal line. Now, in this case, for me to get a buy signal on BPI, these two conditions must be met. Condition number one is the closing price must be positioned above the 10-day moving average, which is the green line. Also, the condition number two is this: MACD must be moving above the signal line. Now, which is the signal line on this MACD histogram? MACD is the blue line and the red line is the signal line. As we can see here, the blue line or MACD is below the signal line. So that means it already disrespects my preferred combination or condition for my 10-day moving average and MACD combination to generate a buy signal. So in short, my 10-day moving average and MACD combination has failed to show a buy signal as far as BPI's current status is concerned. Now, I also do not see any bullish divergence between the MACD and the signal line. It seems to me that even if we will zoom this histogram of MACD, I still cannot, uh, I still do not see any formation of a bullish divergence between MACD and the signal line. Yeah, it still appears that the signal line and MACD are still moving towards a southward direction. So it may take a while. BPI must break the sideways movement of its price for the for MACD to register a change in its direction, hopefully in favor of the bullish divergence with the signal line. So until then, we're not expecting the 10-day SMA or 10-day simple moving average and MACD combination to generate a buy signal. Now, is BPI already moving inside the long-term horizon on a is it already moving bullishly on a long-term time perspective? No, not yet. BPI must break out above at least the 95.20 or 95.50 level for me to conveniently, or for me to say it with conviction, that BPI is back to its bullish position above the 200-day moving average. But until then, BPI is still moving inside the bearish position as far as the long-term time perspective is concerned. Now, let's talk about the foreign investor sentiment or position on BPI. If we're going to zoom out or zoom in this minimize this chart, we can clearly see that the foreign investors have been actively registering some net foreign selling days, at least for the entirety of 2018. Okay, there are more charts pointing towards the southward direction than the bars pointing towards the northward direction. So BPI, I would say that it has not recovered yet. The foreign investor BPI has not recovered yet from the extensive or active net foreign selling appetite of the foreign investors for 2018. So it tried to change the game, or the foreign investors tried to change their sentiment beginning the second week of November until the third week. But then after the third week of November, the foreign investors' appetite to continue their selling momentum has resumed. So today, even though the closing price closed on a green state, and the volume shows a green volume bar, still the overall trend is still in a sideways direction. If and only if BPI continues to give us a bullish volume until tomorrow, then BPI might be able to break this sideways pattern and position the closing price above the 10-day moving average. So this is the current state of BPI at the moment. If you have questions, feel free to reply to that post in our private clients forum. Again, this is JC of Equalist Analytics. Have a great day.